Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and today I'm doing an updated mod spotlight for Equivalent Exchange. Equivalent Exchange is currently version 5.7.3. It's come along a long way since the last time I did a mod spotlight on it. So I'm just going to do a quick video today to show you guys what's new, what's different, some of the neat stuff that Xeno's added, and maybe even tease a little bit of the things that he's mentioned to me that he's planning to add coming soon. So without further ado, let's get started on a couple of the new items and a couple of things that have changed with existing items since the last time I showed you Equivalent Exchange. I'm also going to show you how to use the Klein Star today. I don't think I covered that at all in my first Spotlight video series, so if the Klein Star is a mystery to you, stay tuned. So first off, a very simple and straightforward item. You guys are familiar with the Dark Matter armor set, and it looks pretty cool. Pretty darn cool looking guy right there, covered in dark armor. Well, Xeno has given us an upgraded version of this, the Red Matter armor set, and those of you who are familiar with Equivalent Exchange know that Red Matter is an upgraded version of Dark Matter, and basically it makes the items more efficient and more powerful. Specifically for armor, it's going to go ahead and give you guys a better armor protection, and I believe, but I'm not sure, that Xeno has plans to add more to the Red Matter as it comes out. Those of you who have used TMI, you might have noticed that red armor has been included in TMI for a little bit, but now there are actually recipes for it in the game, as you can see. And like I said, it provides better protection than dark matter armor. Pretty spiffy looking, if I do say so myself. And you might have noticed, if you're paying attention to my TMI screen over here on the right, there's some other helmets in here. These are and items. These aren't available as a crafting recipe yet, but you can go ahead and give them to yourself. And I don't know if all of their features work yet, but these items are basically going to be gemmed versions of the Red Matter armor set, and they've all got their own unique special abilities. And I don't know that they're exactly implemented yet, so I'm not really going to show you what they do, but once they're fully implemented and there's actually recipes for them, you're going to be able to basically include some of the abilities you get from your Equivalent Exchange items here included in the armor set that you wear. For example, I think Gravity Greaves is pretty much the same as the Black Hole Band in that it's going to suck items up. But like I said, more to come, but that's kind of a teaser of what I think Xeno's working on at the moment. He's got these, crazy items that he's planned to add in coming soon. So that's the Red Matter armor set. It's pretty neat looking. A bit expensive, obviously, but hey, for ultimate protection from enemies, not too bad. Next up, I've got the Philosopher's Stone here, and if you remember the last time I showed it to you, if you don't have it charged up and hit C, you'll get a crafting table. Pretty neat. And if you do charge it up and hit C, you get your transmutation table. And if you recall from the last video, what happens is you place some items into the slots here on the left, and you get the options on the right there for transforming these items into something else. And first off, Xeno has given us more slots over here. Looks like he's given us a total of 10 slots to show you all the different things you can transmute your current EMC value of items into. He's also given us what I think is pretty much like the coolest add-on yet for this mod, a target slot. If you're familiar with using this mod, you know that condensers and collectors have a target slot. Well, now you've got one on your transmutation table. And you can basically place an item in your target slot, and that item will always be at the top of the transmutation item table. And there'll be some similar items of similar values all along it. So you can pretty much say, hey, I want to turn this diamond into a bunch of whatever materials you want. So let's say you wanted to turn it into some pistons. You can target a piston and you'll get a piston at the top there. And if you want to turn it into a sticky piston, same deal. And you can collect all the pistons you want, and hooray. Pretty spiffy. You can also shift-click items out of the transmutation table now, which is also a much awesome add-on for this thing. So that's the changes to the Philosopher's Stone and the transmutation table. Pretty spiffy. Another new thing that Xeno has given us here in Equivalent Exchange, if you're a fan of Industrial Craft or Red Power 2, you might be familiar with the fact that it adds different ores and different kinds of trees to the world. And originally Xeno was starting to make mod add-on packs that you'd have to download separately in order to utilize the ores in Industrial Craft and the trees in Red Power and the ores in Red Power. Now obviously Industrial Craft 2 is not out for 1.0 yet, but it looks like I found some copper down here. So let's see what happens if I try and use my dark matter pickaxe on this copper. Hey, look at that. It worked. That's right. Inherent to Equivalent Exchange now is the ability for all your tools to work on the ores that are added in Industrial Craft and Red Power 2. You no longer have to download a separate add-on or do anything different. And for those of you who love the Red Power trees as much as I do, but sometimes find that they can be hard to chop down, I've seen actually quite a few forum posts in several areas saying what's the best way to chop down a Red Power tree because it's so darn big. The Dark Matter Axe does work on Red Power trees. Of course, they're pretty tall, so you're going to want to fly up there. Luckily, we have a way to fly. Hanging out right here. Ta-da! So, those beautiful Red Power trees that you want to clear out, easy way to do it. And that is all because Xeno has basically given us a by default standard way to interact with Red Power and Industrial Craft as part of his Equivalent Exchange mod. So thank you very much, Xeno, for doing that. Next up, Xeno has gone ahead and added in native support for Red Power tubing and Red Power machines. So you can see I've created a retriever here. If you're not familiar with Red Power 2, you definitely want to check out my mod spotlights of it. And I've hooked up a simple Red Power system here to retrieve items from the chest, and I told it that the retriever needs to pull glowstone out of here. And I've also set up this collector to produce glowstone, so you can see we've got a good amount of it going. And I can simply click on the button now and retrieve glowstone. So Xeno has basically given us native support for the Red Power 2 tubing and machines as part of Equivalent Exchange. So thank you, Xeno, for that. That will make a lot of neat machines possible. So let's cover the Klein Star real quick, guys. You're familiar with the energy condenser and the way it works. Basically, you need some fuel, and the most efficient fuel source, short of the Klein Star, is this stuff right here, Mobius fuel. So go ahead and dump that guy in. And simply place an item or two in your chest here, in your condenser, and it'll start upgrading. And it'll use the Mobius fuel to upgrade at a decent rate. It's going to upgrade cobblestone to iron, iron to gold, gold to diamond, diamond to diamond blocks, and finally diamond blocks will get upgraded to dark matter. And pretty much it's a slow enough process without any kind of upgrades. It takes a long time to get up to the diamond level. But that's not a problem because, hey, you know, that's how it should work, right? Now, you've also seen the antimatter relay. This machine allows you to convert items into energy. And as you can see, I just placed a diamond in there, and diamonds hold a lot of EMC value, and it's going to basically break that item down, and it's going to store energy into the relay. And the relay staying next to the condenser here is going to drastically increase the speed at which the condenser is able to operate, because the relay is dumping its energy directly into the condenser, and it's speeding things up a good amount. And if we didn't have that relay there, then this thing would be going a lot slower, as you can see. A lot slower. Now what the Klein Star does is it basically acts as a battery for EMC energy. All we really need to do is head on over here and grab ourselves some red matter and some Mobius fuel. And we set it up like this. All 8 red matter around there and Mobius fuel in the middle. And that gives you the Klein Star Ein, which is the first version of the Klein Star. It's the lowest version. It's a pretty expensive item, as you can see here. Holy cow, lots of red matter, which is a very, very high level item in Equivalent Exchange. And how do we charge it with EMC? Well, I simply place it in this lightning bolt slot here in the antimatter relay. And go ahead and dump some diamonds in here. And you'll see that all the EMC being produced is being stored in the Klein Star Ein. Now, you don't have to use diamonds, of course. You can use whatever you want. You can use cobblestone, you can use anything, really. But diamonds have a lot of inherent EMC. If you want, you can even use red matter. Heck, there's a ton of EMC in red matter. That's a good way to do it. So, you can really do whatever you want to store your energy inside your relay. Now, I mentioned that there's 5 versions of the Klein Star, and you can see them all here in TMI. To upgrade, you simply take 2 level 1 Klein Stars and a piece of red matter in the middle, and you get the Klein Stars Y, which is the level 2 version. And if we had 2 of those with a red matter in the middle, we get the Kleinstar Dre, which is version 3. 2 of those with red matter in the middle. You're starting to see the pattern here. You get the 4th one. And finally, you get the 5th version here. And that's your top tier version. So I mentioned that these guys can all store energy, and the amount of energy they can store is about 20,000 energy points in the first version, 40,000, 80,000, 160, and 320,000. So that's the amount of energy they can store inside the Kleinstar. So let's go over here and check out how things are going. You can see it's quickly storing energy in the Kleinstar for me. The thing's starting to build up. This is still just the level 1 version of the Kleinstar. And if we were to take it out of here for just a moment and went over to our condenser, you can see the condenser is slowly working on this diamond that it made as we were moving along. And if I throw this partially charged Kleinstar in here, you can see it's going to use the energy in the Kleinstar to go ahead and operate the condenser. And it starts moving along pretty well. Now the nice thing about using the Kleinstar in a condenser is it actually causes the thing to run a little bit faster than it would otherwise. The condenser is going to be moving quicker with a Kleinstar in it, and it's going to be using the energy in the Kleinstar to condense the items. So basically this is your battery, and you can charge it up, like I said, by just throwing it in your relay. Very cool. Now another thing you could do if you wanted to is go ahead and place your Kleinstar directly in a relay next to your condenser, and that will even more quickly dump out the energy into the relay and cause it to go into the condenser. So again, Kleinstar basically works as a battery. So I think we've pretty much covered all the new things in Equivalent Exchange. You're going to want to stay tuned because Zeno has mentioned to me he's got some really cool stuff planned coming up. There's going to be a couple new items coming, he's got some neat ideas, and we're basically going to be pretty impressed with the stuff he's coming up with. So this is Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed checking out some of the changes and some of the things I didn't cover previously on Equivalent Exchange. Take it easy.